Folks, you better buckle up and strap in. We've got a lot to talk about. Number one, we'll start with the latest on plays. We have an idea that exploded earlier this week. Violent updates on some dip buy opportunities like Mara and Sound, what's going on there and what you should know. And then for the main entree, a leading AI stock, PLTR, just announced big news today. The Army just handed it a new massive contract where it will be leveraging its artificial intelligence and machine learning software to completely modernize the Army. And actually, if you look into this, it's a lot farther reaching than you might think. And in today's video, we're going to break down exactly what happened here and why you should expect PLTR to more than double from current trading prices. This is going to be a video that you're going to wish you watched to the very end in a few months, so make sure to buckle up and pay attention. And the only thing I ask in return is that you hit that ravishing like button, turn on the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, you should never buy or sell a stock just because we talk about it in a video. You need to be going off and doing your own due diligence and making your own decisions. Also, quick reminder, our flash sale on ZipTrader options expires Friday night. Coupon code alerts will get you $200 off. If you are ready to learn options and get our alerts, I'll put the link down below. Right now is a really hot time to get into options trading. For example, our option alert we sent on Palantir back on February 28th more than doubled at highs today, going from 67-cent lows yesterday to $1.51 today, roughly a 124% increase. Alert price last week to highs today, the run was roughly 84%. Now, if you'd like to join our options program and get our options alerts, I'll put the link to that down below. Coupon code alerts will get you $200 off. Now, of course, not all of our ideas are going to win, and you always have to make your own assessment, but our alerts are really well thought out with full breakdowns and reasoning so that you can learn from each regardless of whether it's successful or not. Okay, let's go ahead and start with Mara. So Mara had hit a new cycle high on February 28th at $34 a share. Since then, she's been cooling off in a big teasing cycle. Teasy McTeasy. She teases, she squeezes, and then she teases. Right now, she's teasing. She's been beaten down largely because she had an earnings that markets just weren't thrilled about. Short sellers and bears tried to focus on an EPS miss for Q4 of 2023 and argued that that's going to be a new trend, even though Q1 of 2024 is when Bitcoin actually went parabolic and started driving big money from miners. So I don't believe that's a solid justification for selling her off, but here's the thing. Bitcoin just broke into a new all-time high a day ago. It's the first time this happened since November 2021, and then it quickly sold off again and then boomed again. But quite frankly, with Bitcoin, you have to realize that this momentum is extremely powerful and upward facing. Breaking out is nowhere near over for this current cycle. We're just in the beginning here. When you break a new high before halving, that's a really big deal because that never happens. Now, we've been talking for months that Bitcoin would indeed hit a new high because that is what has happened historically around halving, and halving is coming in April, but this is actually way ahead of schedule. So markets are looking at Bitcoin right now and making the calculus that since Bitcoin tends to add a lot of market cap after every halving, well then this must be set to do it again. So people feel very safe buying right now. And if you see Bitcoin break into 70,000, 75, 80, well, expect Mara to break into 35, 40, 45. I fully expect Mara to completely blow through the 30 resistance and then 34 cycle high again. And I actually sent out an options idea on Mara earlier today to play her as well. So for those in the options program, make sure to check that out. Next, Sound, S-O-U-N. So our favorite voice AI and speech recognition company is in a brutal dip cycle right now. And this is really the first big dip that recent momentum buyers have had to deal with, because since early February, it's basically just run upward and had very small breathing days. My take is if this bottom in the $4.70 region doesn't hold, you're going to see the last momentum traders start locking in profits, and then maybe shorts will pile on and it pushes it back down. But in my view, no way does that sustain. Now, we made the argument a few weeks ago to buy Sound at $3.54 with a tight stop loss, and if this gets back down to those levels, fine. That's just another play to the upside. If I believed in it 2 weeks ago at $3.54, you better believe I believe in it today at $3.54. Now, I know that I've gone into Sound pretty extensively this year already, but I believe Sound is a $10 plus stock in this current cycle. When this round of AI momentum dies, sure, Sound will dive as well, and it could be a while to recapitalize. But being a central player in voice AI and having that NVIDIA investment is going to simply drive her above $10 this year, in my view. That is my standpoint. So as she gets closer and closer and de-risks more and more at lower levels, I get more and more excited. Next, PHUN. So we presented on PHUN at $7.09 on Sunday night in our top penny stocks video, and the argument was that it would stop its downtrend and rally aggressively into Super Tuesday. And it ended up running to $17.99 at highs, which was about a 153% increase. Shout out to folks who successfully played this pretty fun opportunity. It then broke our red directional SMA line later Tuesday, and since then, it's been in a pretty big take profit cycle. My thought process now, well, let it tank. The next catalyst you have to look forward to are on March 12th. You have the Washington, Hawaii, Georgia, and Mississippi primary. That's probably going to be a weaker catalyst. There's just not that much in terms of those states to be excited about for primary purposes. They're great states, but not for primary purposes. And then on the 19th, you have Florida, Arizona, Ohio, which is a little bit more exciting. But my guess is neither of those dates, 12th or the 19th, will be as exciting of catalysts as that Super Tuesday one was. Later this year, as we get close to nomination time, is when fun will likely have the most opportunity. Now, of course, folks, these catalyst penny stocks are fun, but in my view, most of your focus should be on companies seeing actual, real justified momentum, because those are the ones that are the easiest to trade and the most consistent momentum. So sure, a small portion of your focus can be on something like a fund, and it can really be a fun time to see acceleration of gains, but at the same time, I wouldn't focus everything on it because, again, they're so damn volatile. And a lot of times you will end up just losing just by nature of how they work. Okay, let's go on to the main entree today, Palantir. So the tier of Palantir just broke out to a new cycle high this morning, and hands down, it has some of the most aggressive and consistent momentum anywhere in the mid-cap market. And I believe very quickly here, we are going to see Palantir break $30 a share, and once it breaks that multi-year resistance level, you're going to see everyone start taking notice. You're going to see a lot of people start waking up. You're going to see your neighbor Sally and Susan say, whoo. But let's go ahead and back up for a second. So why is Palantir exploding? Well, they just won a massive contract. Barron's reports, quote, Palantir stock rises on a $178 million U.S. Army contract win. Now, specifically, PLTR has been awarded a $178.4 million agreement by the Army Contracting Command for the development of the Titan Ground Station System, which leverages artificial intelligence and machine learning to enhance the Army's deep sensing capabilities. The system, designed to integrate data from various sensors and provide actionable targeting information, will consist of 10 prototypes. Palantir's system emphasizes usability and rapid, informed decision-making on the battlefield. Additionally, the project showcases a collaboration with industry leaders to ensure the system's adaptability and effectiveness against evolving threats, marking a significant step in modernizing the Army's technological capabilities. Now, the reason, folks, that markets are excited about this is because, quite frankly, this is a huge proof of concept. If the Army is using Palantir to modernize its capabilities, well, what does that say about Palantir software? It says it's pretty damn powerful. And obviously we here who watch this lovely channel and follow Palantir know this already. But there's large parts of the market that still don't, and every time Palantir breaks out to a newer and higher high, and every single time you get a big contract win like this, more and more people start waking up, and that leads to more and more capital going towards Palantir stock. Now, it's important to note that we are just talking about the reason that Palantir rallied today, but there's a bigger reason why Palantir rallied over the last several months so aggressively, and the big reason for that is, quite frankly, just because the business justifies it. In its latest earnings report, Palantir Technology showcased its fifth consecutive quarter of GAAP profitability, with a fourth quarter GAAP EPS of 0.04 cents. The company reported a 20% year-over-year revenue growth for the fourth quarter and a 17% increase for the full year 2023, totaling $2.225 billion. But most excitingly, they saw their U.S. commercial revenue grow by 70% year-over-year. 70%. You find me 10 other companies that are growing 70% year-over-year in just one segment of their business, and with the profitability and potential margin that Palantir has. And U.S. commercial customer count grew by 55% year-over-year. These are very, very impressive numbers, regardless of the type of company you're talking about. But with Palantir, whether you're talking about income from operations, adjusted free cash flow, operational efficiency, net income, adjusted EBITDA, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. Palantir is blowing away everybody who's watching it. Palantir also provided a positive outlook for Q1 of 2024, expecting revenue between $612 million to $616 and adjusted income from operations between $196 to $200 million bucks. For the full year 2024, the company anticipates revenue between $2.652 and $2.668 billion in U.S. commercial revenue, which everybody's really watching, in excess of $640 million bucks, highlighting a growth rate for the overall year of 40%. Those are insane numbers, folks. So in summary, folks, Palantir stock is rallying because its business deserves it. Now, okay, great, Charlie. You explained why Palantir stock has rallied, but how much more upside does it have? Well, I showed you my latest math back a month ago, explaining that I believed its growth trajectory will bring it to 51 bucks per share by the start of 2025. And keep in mind that I take my predictions very seriously. I mean, I made the case for Palantir at $7.28 and even lower than that and I'm happy making it today in the high 20s. But really, what's the actual justification I have for more growth? How could I see it possibly growing more? I mean, Charlie, the stock's already up so much. The business has really, really high growth rates. How can any of this be sustainable? Well, yes, but it had been unjustifiably beat down. That's why it has so much room to recover, just to recover. But it hasn't even recovered to all-time highs reached in 2021, yet the business is far, far more successful today than it was back then and growing fast. Okay, but where's the next wave of growth coming from? Well, folks, you see there's an exponentially growing demand surge for what they are offering. The increasing incorporation of AI into business and institutional operations across various sectors is a critical driver, with many companies still in the early stages of integrating AI into their processes. While Palantir, renowned for its AI capabilities, is going to stand to benefit significantly from this trend. In fact, if you dig into it, a CNBC survey indicated that 55% of technology officers plan to invest in generative AI software shortly, highlighting the growing importance of AI in operations and the market opportunity that Palantir has here. Another reason Palantir's business should continue exploding is their diversified client base and applications. Palantir's products cater to a wide range of sectors, including government, defense, healthcare, finance, and more. This diversification not only stabilizes revenue streams, but also opens up new avenues for growth as different sectors increasingly rely on big data and AI for decision-making and optimization. There's also strategic partnerships and contracts. Palantir's ability to secure large contracts like the $178 million agreement with the U.S. Army for the development of the Titan ground station system underscores its competitive edge and the trust institutions place in its capabilities. Such contracts not only provide immediate revenue boosts, but also open doors up to further opportunities within and across sectors. Another reason is innovative and scalable solutions. You see, Palantir's commitment to innovation through continuous and aggressive investment in R&D and its scalable solutions cater to the complex needs of clients. The ability to offer tailor-made solutions for complex data environments, which most of these massive institutions that Palantir is working with have, well, that ensures that Palantir remains a preferred partner for them and allows Palantir to leverage those relationships to really rake in the dough. There's also global expansion and market penetration. Palantir's strategic focus on expanding its global footprint and penetrating new markets presents significant growth potential for the company. As the company builds its presence in various regions, it's going to be tapping into new customer bases, further driving its growth. So folks, I see a lot of opportunity for Palantir, and I think if you do some due diligence on it, you're going to agree with me. Okay, back to the chart. So watch for this to break $30 in the coming weeks. Once it does that, you're on your next leg for a moonshot deep into the 30s and then concluding around $51 by year end in my view. And by the way, shout out to folks who played our alerted Palantir 35 strike calls successfully. They ran some 124% today and over 80% from our original alerted price. If you would like to join us in ZipTrader options and learn to trade options and get our alerts, I'll put the link down below. Coupon code alerts will get you $200 off, and that expires Friday night. Have a good one, folks. We'll see you in the next video.